for joining us today. We are doing the cement vases. Now, Miss Rita and I tried this several different ways, and we couldn't get it to work successfully, consistently. So we are choosing to do this the most consistent way to do this. If you were expecting draped towels, I want to apologize. It was not consistently successful. So we don't want to give you the same frustration we experienced. So what we're going to do today with Carry and Craft cement base version, we're going to make two different ones. Some things you're going to want from around your house are a larger container than what we gave you. We've given you one of these, but you want a larger container than that. I'm using for my first one this salad bowl or serving bowl, and then for the second one I'm going to use a coffee can because I want to be able to grab my vase. And what we're using for the centers, for the where you put your plant, this bowl is going to be used for inside. I'm going to use it for succulent, so I'm going to use a square little serving dish as well to put inside. Okay, so and then I'll get into how this one will work when we get to it. What we're doing is, before you start mixing your cement and getting crazy and whatnot, you have two choices. You can wrap your mold in plastic wrap or use plastic shopping bags, whichever you are most comfortable with. I'm going to show you how to use both. I've wrapped my bowl and this in plastic wrap, and I'll use the shopping bags on the outdoor one later. Alrighty, so get those prepped beforehand. So I have prepped these before we got started. Alrighty, so we mixed the cement. You want this kind of thick, waffly batter, brownie batter kind of texture. Okay, and the rocks that are in the cement are actually, one, it helps with the strength, but two, it'll give you some cool textures on the outside of your vase. So enjoy and embrace the texture with the rocks. And this is extra strength concrete. So what I'm going to do first, my bowl is prepped, the mold that goes inside is prepped. I am going to start spooning this in so we have a base that my other mold will fit into, and force it into the corners so that your plastic wrap is kind of stretched the way you want it. And if you want to use your fingers to do this, you can. I'm choosing not to today, which is unusual. Usually I get my fingers dirty. And I have no rhyme or reason as to why that might happen, why I do that. Okay, so now I have a nice base. I'm going to stick this in, kind of nestle it down in there, and now we're just going to put the concrete around the outside of that. And you can put it as high as you want. May need to move your bowl around a bit. And I am not going to fill mine to the very top of my white container because I'm going to use this for succulents, and so that can be a little lower. I don't need as much dirt and whatnot inside. Alright, so I'm tapping it down so the rocks kind of settle closer to the bottom and you can get a smoother top. This is as much as I'm putting in this one. Tap it. I'm going to tap it on the ground, I think, because my table isn't quite as solid. Tapping it gets the air bubbles out and settles everything. And you'll see that it's smoothing out on top. So the thinner stuff is coming to the top, and the stone and whatnot will be the structure in the walls. We're done with this one for a while. You're going to want to let that sit for 3 to 4 days. After those 3 to 4 days, and you want to keep it outside if you can, just because hopefully it'll be warmer. After those 3 to 4 days, you can unmold it. Then you want to let it sit someplace in the sun, assuming we have sunshine, for another 3 to 4 days. It has to completely cure, and you want to make sure that everything is solid before you start adding water in it again. All right, now we're going to do our second one. See, these are really quick and easy to do. Then you just got to leave it alone for a while. So I love crafts like that. So this next one I'm going to prepare for an outdoor planter, which means you need drainage for the rain. So what we're going to do, I'm using just a coffee can and takeout container. But I'm going to tape this lid from like a vitamin container to the base, and that will give you your drainage, because the cement ideally won't go down into that section, and even if it does seep in there, it's going to be thin enough that you can knock it out when it's done. So high tech here, that's all I did. Taped it on, and we're going to put this in first because we don't want the cement down there. So we're not creating a base like we did the first time. We're putting this in, okay? But before we actually get all that done, I'm going to show you how to use the plastic bags. It's not rocket science. Kind of like you do in your bathroom trash can. Put that in, spread it out, make sure it's down into the corners, okay? And then I tape mine so it doesn't wiggle. If you don't care too much, don't worry about it. Okay. And just masking tape, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Alright. There's no cement tape in the world that I'm aware of that we need for this. Okay. There we go. So this is here. And again, press it in, make sure you kind of have what you're looking for. Now for this, especially if this is something you want to reuse, again, we're going to put this in this container. Want it super tight, okay? Make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Sorry, I was looking at my dog. Scout's joining us today. And again, I'm going to tape this along the outside just to keep things in place so it doesn't wiggle too much. Now you'll see when you unmold this that you'll see where the tape was in the mold, which I just think is fun. And you'll see all the texture from the plastic bags, which I enjoy. If you want it completely smooth or smoother, then use plastic wrap. But I love the different textures that plastic shopping bags give you in situations like this. Alrighty. And if you enjoy this process, you can go down the YouTube or Pinterest rabbit hole, and there are tons of things you can do with concrete that are a lot of fun, and they're things I'm going to try this summer. To my husband's dismay, probably, but I'm going to have some fun with concrete this summer. Alrighty, so you have your hole there. This is taped, ready to go. I set it inside. Okay? Now you don't have as much room in this one. You'll see it's a little tighter fit, but when you put the concrete in, it'll start to spread the plastic bags out. So yeah, we'll get started. And again, just plop this stuff in. Also, if you enjoy this this basic process, I encourage you to go to Goodwill and pick up any old dishes or really cool colanders and repeat this process using those textures, because they can give you lots of fun stuff, and there's lots of information online about how to paint it, how to seal it, all that good stuff, so you can continue to use it. Okay, I am going to move my center around just a bit to help get this stuff in. And always give it a little smush back down just to make sure. Alrighty. And whatever you choose to mix your concrete in, now you can mix it in the container we gave you, which is perfect. But make sure if you want to reuse that container for anything else that you rinse it out immediately. Otherwise it'll dry and be gross. Okay? And that container we gave you would be great for kiddie drinks at a picnic. Throw some ice in there. Whatever you wish. Or you can make a big vase out of that. You could take multiples of these, or maybe a little bit bigger, or several coffee cans, place them in the middle, and do a big 3 container vase out of that container, if that's something you wanted to do. So now you want to go around, just make sure everything is in. You can wiggle kind of your cup around if you need to. Get the last bits of workable concrete out. It's kind of like getting the last of the brownie batter. But don't lick this, it'll be good. And as you can see here, I'm working on a box. I do recommend, if you can't work out on your yard or whatnot, that you cover the space you're working on, because it's naturally a messy process. And I don't want anybody's furniture or tables to be damaged. Alrighty. So again, give it a little shake. I'm grabbing the handle here. I'm pressing this back down. Okay. And if you have something heavy to put on top, you can. I don't think it's necessary, but a brick on top wouldn't hurt. Just to keep everything stable. My other one, and if you can see the other one, it's all pretty smooth across the top. So that'll be a nice finish across the top. And this one, it will have thinner walls, but it will still be a really good vase for outdoors.
Let your projects dry undisturbed for 3 to 4 days. Then you can check to see that the cement is dry to the touch. You can tap on it and make sure that it's firm. And if those 2 things are true, you can go ahead and unmold it. Once it's unmolded, though, you need to let it sit undisturbed in a dry and hopefully sunny spot for another 3 to 4 days to finish curing before using for plants. But we hope you enjoy your new containers.